Where are we at, Bash?
We are at the historic Kentucky Theater, downtown Lexington, Kentucky. And what a great place to celebrate what we're celebrating today.
And do you know what we're celebrating?
It's unbelievable.
It's our last episode of season 2.
It's hard to believe it was 2 seasons, right? I remember starting in late 23 when we started working on this project.
Yep.
And we have had so much fun with it. And we've learned a lot too, I think, and we've gotten to be really good friends. It's been a great project. But before we do what we're going to do today, which we're going to have some fun with.
Absolutely.
We want to enjoy the popcorn, right? We want to thank some people. So, first of all, Chief Weathers.
Hey, is this the theater for Die Hard? It's my favorite Christmas movie.
It's not a Christmas movie.
You know, we haven't seen you since episode 1, and now you show up at the theater here, and you're at the wrong place.
Oh, man.
So,
Bye.
Chief Weathers and the command staff have been fantastic, been so supportive of this project, and we really appreciate them. We appreciate all of the guests that we've had on. We've worked with so many different topics, so many special guests.
We can't forget the production crew behind the scenes. They're amazing.
LexTV is phenomenal.
Yes.
We have had so much fun with them, getting to know them. They are fantastic, so talented, and they have been so supportive of this project. They have done a fantastic job. And let me just say, it's the viewers, right? We have had so many people have come up to us in the community, outside the state, that have come up to us and said, hey, we watched the show. We absolutely love it. And we've learned so much about the police department, about policing, about police technology, all the different things we talked about. So we really just want to thank everybody here at the end of season 2 for everybody's involvement and everybody's support of this project. So
Let's get ready for season 3.
I can't wait for that. So today we are going to go back. We're going to watch some highlights of the first 2 seasons, and we're actually going to look at some bloopers. That should be the fun part. And we got our popcorn here at the historic Kentucky Theater. So sit back and let's watch season 1, season 2 highlights and bloopers.
Do you remember earlier this year, it was like one of the coldest days of the year,
How could I forget?
and we did the patrol episode?
It was so cold. Well, and that's the thing about patrol. Every day is different.
Yep.
Every shift is different. You obviously go to work every day knowing that you could see the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people don't realize, I don't think, about patrol, is that, somebody has to respond to these things, right?
Yeah.
And it all starts with patrol. So
Yeah, and we're your first line of, defense. We get the calls, we initiate the initial report before it goes to its specified bureau or detective that it's going to go to. And if an officer wants to follow up with that particular, case, they can get with that detective that gets assigned that case, and they'll assign it to them as well, and they can work, in unison with that detective to, see this case if it goes all the way through the court system, and if it has to go to trial and stuff like that. So we do like doing that because there's a few cases that just hit home.
Right.
And you're just like, oh man, can I follow through with this case, whether it's domestic or narcotic related, or you got someone and it closes out like 5 to 6 burglary reports because they've been tied to all these other criminal offenses.
Hey, and you remember when we did the motor episode, and Larry Wilcox
That
from
was so
Chips came in? Absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Good morning and happy day to everybody in Lexington and the PD department. God bless you.
You mentioned that you rode before the show, and that you went through police motorcycle training. Was there any differences in what you knew before you went through training compared to after you went through training? You think your riding changed a lot?
Yeah, it really changed a lot. Most of the stuff that I knew before were problem areas that get in the way in terms of police training. But, for example, just your head placement in terms of what you look at and where you're looking at things that you don't want to be looking at because you're going to hit them. They always say, don't look at the rock in the middle of the road because you're going to hit it now, right? Which, sure enough, you do, right? And, then turning, it's always looking about what people forget is that police bike's very heavy, number one, and it's a lot of, the difficulty is all the slow riding, the inertia and the balancing of the bike when you're just braking and clutching and barely moving through traffic and trying to balance it in kind of weird areas. So, we got really good at that, and doing figure eights in a small rectangle without laying the bike down is always an issue. And that's why I always say that, anyone can ride a motorcycle fast, but not many can ride it really, really slow. Well, high-speed braking was another issue. I didn't know anything about that, and so my braking was usually just the rear brake. CHP trained different, where you use both brakes and easily use them. So I probably laid the bike down multiple times and all that, but you have those bars on the side that it falls on, so that spares you a little bit. Yeah, without gloves and some pads and stuff, it can bruise you up a little bit, but it's once you learn how to do it, it's not a big deal. And then so braking was one issue. High speed braking in terms of where the rear end comes around and says hello to you. The motorcycle, I exaggerating to make my point, but it does come around, and that's pretty intimidating. But once you learn how to do it, look pretty cool when you come in hot and that happens. It's not a big deal, right? And then also, being quiet and logical instead of emotional so that you can process information on a motorcycle because you have you have multiple other factors going on.
And do you also remember a couple months ago, one of my favorite episodes, Canine Unit, with all the puppy dogs?
Everybody loves the dogs. So how do we use the dogs? What are the purposes, and what do we have? Patrol dogs? We have different types of dogs. What do we have?
Yeah, so our primary three things are going to be patrol dogs, narcotic dogs, and bomb dogs. Obviously, we use dogs because they smell better than us. So the main breeds that you're going to see is obviously your typical German Shepherd. That's what everybody thinks about for a police dog. We also have Belgian Malinois. We have a Dutch Shepherd. And then obviously you saw Rhea. We have lab floppy ears dogs sometimes for single purpose use.
Okay.
What is the difference between the three, the patrol, narcotics, and bomb?
So the patrol dogs, they're going to be used primarily whenever we need to find subjects who have committed crimes. Whether it's someone's broken into a building, they've committed a violent crime, and we need to track their odor and find them for the sake of us and the public. Your explosive dogs, I'm sure Chaz can go into it more. This is going to be for your big events to make sure that we don't have any explosives hidden. And then narcotics is primary use is going to be for vehicles that we suspect there's narcotics inside.
So I know we talked about the different types of dogs. Are they multi-purpose, or do they just, if that's a narcotics dog, that's just a narcotics dog?
Yeah, no, most of our dogs are dual purpose. I think we have two single purpose dogs. One was Rhea, who you spoke with earlier.
Yeah.
I spoke with her. She's an explosives dog.
Okay.
And that's her only job. We have another narcotics detection dog, and he's with our narcotics unit. He's only narcotics. All the other dogs are dual purpose, which means they'll do patrol, which is apprehension, finding people, finding evidence, and they're also either narcotics or explosives. My dog, Kato, is a dual purpose patrol and bomb dog. So he does both. When we look for the dogs, we look for a dog that is environmentally sound. We need to make sure that they're comfortable in every environment because it can be really weird out there in the world, right? We look for dogs that have great noses. Pat mentioned their best feature for us is their nose. It helps us locate what we need to find, whether it's missing people, criminals, narcotics, explosives. So we always look to make sure that they have a really good hunt drive and that they hunt and that they have really good changes and they can find things. First, it's just the ball, because they know what a ball is. It's easy to see. So we make sure they have a lot of ball drive and that they hunt methodically. So they're always checking and looking and hopeful that they're going to discover something, because that makes the training take a lot better than if they, didn't care.
And you remember going up in the helicopter doing the air support unit, and you did a fly along with us?
Yes, and I didn't get sick.
You didn't get sick, and that was a good thing, right?
Nicole, you're used to being in a cruiser on the ground, so we're about 1,000 feet right now over the city. What are your thoughts? What do you think about it? You like it?
I love to fly, so I think this is awesome. The first time I flew, I didn't know our cruisers had our P numbers on the hood, because I was like, how do you tell whose is who?
Yeah, that helps us out a whole lot, because there's been several times that we would have to reposition cruisers, and by having that P number on top of the car, we can certainly tell where everybody's at. It's definitely a different perspective from up here. It's truly a bird's eye view, so again, it's all about safety. Keeping the officers safe, but also keeping the citizens safe. So and we do a lot of large-scale events. We're command and control for UK football games. Anytime we've got a large traffic event where we can monitor traffic flow up here and advise arteries to go green and assist with traffic flow. So there's all different types of uses for this. One of the benefits from us, a lot of times a call will be dispatched and we can get over the call relatively quickly to get the ground units information that they need. For instance, it may be an accident on I-75. We're able to get over there pretty quick and let them know what they've got, how it's going to impact traffic flow, what kind of fire apparatus is going to be needed, everything's like that. So we do not have to worry about stoplights up here. Right now we're about 70 miles per hour as far as ground speed goes. We do everything by knots, but we're roughly about 70 miles an hour right now. So we always maintain about a 60 knot forward airspeed just in case we were to lose an engine. Bell Aircraft says that we can do an auto rotation and land safely as long as we've got that forward airspeed. So you'll never see us hovering in the air. It's only on takeoff and landing.
So, question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is the visibility better like in the wintertime, because you have all these trees and the leaves and we can't see through them like spring, summer, but if we're trying to find someone in the wintertime, is it better when there's no leaves on the trees?
That is a great question. So a tactical flight officer loves wintertime because we don't have leaves, and it does, the visibility is completely different. How we compensate for that is flight patterns. We adjust those a little bit in the summer when we've got a lot of foliage. And then we also have the thermal imager, the forward-looking infrared, the FLIR on board. So depending on how thick the vegetation is, we'll utilize that a lot of times if we have somebody fleeing on foot, or if we have a lost subject on the ground, we'll be able to use the forward-looking infrared to detect body heat and try to locate them that way through foliage.
And one of our most recent episodes was the drones.
The drones, I always love the technology, yeah.
So when the drones were put into patrol, we put one in each sector, and we've trained 2 pilots each shift for each sector. Those folks train quarterly according to policy, so they come in and they do their quarterly training. We do a night training to make sure they're proficient in their skills, and those drones have proven to be very beneficial for finding not only missing folks, but also suspects that are wanted in crimes.
Yes. So do we have some success stories?
We have a lot of success stories. Fortunately, we've been able to find some missing people, missing children that have been either run away or gotten away from home that they can't find their way back. We've been able to use that, but more importantly, we've been able to protect our officers on scene when they were responding to calls. One specifically happened within the last year where a person had assaulted their significant other, fled in a vehicle, and then the police got behind that vehicle, the person wrecked and then fled into a wooded area.
what you have there is a wooded area where somebody can take up an advantage against the police. We were able to use the drone and find a heat signature. What that did is allow the officers to form a perimeter and call that person out to them rather than potentially harming not only our officers but the suspect that was in there. It makes a overall safe environment because once again you have that third perspective and you're able to say, we know we see you in there, you need to come out to us, and that person actually did give up. And that's just one of many success stories where we've been able to find folks that have fled from traffic stops or domestic violence or any kind of crimes in our community. They've been able to dispatch those drones from the patrol officers that have those with them, put those up immediately after and find these folks.
Man, that was great. Who puts all this together?
That was some pretty great material, let me just tell you. And Tyler Rowlett, he's our producer, our editor with the project, with LexTV.
He's awesome.
Awesome. Fantastic job. Surely we don't have any bloopers though, do we?
Oh, I've got a whole folder. I keep all of them.
I don't believe it.
You do?
Yeah, I've got 2 years worth. Let's check some out.
Well, that's not my fault, that's his fault. Keep it down.
Hey, we are back here with Sergeant Gary Thurman with, let's start over.
That's on the bloopers, okay?
Do I? I'm having one of your moments. We are here with Matt Grayhouse, commander of the, oh God, sorry.
Commander of Oh God. All right.
Okay.
All right.
1917.
Why don't you play your video games back there?
This one in the stirrup, bring the right one out.
Yeah, but I still don't like that. I don't have anything to hold on to. Right there.
There you go.
Oh, Jesus. That's just. Oh. All right.
Man, it has 2 seasons.
It's hard to believe.
It's hard to believe.
It was fun today, though. Going back and watching, we've had so much fun doing this project. And are you ready for season 3?
Yes. So I know we've interviewed a whole lot of specialized units already in the first 2 seasons. Who do we have lined up coming up for season 3?
We've still got many specialized units. I know that we already have some planned as far as E911, the 911 center, where everything starts when people call the police department, call the fire department. And we've got the emergency response unit, our SWAT team, we're going to be talking with them. So we've got other partnerships, other specialized units, a full lineup for season 3. So
I'm excited.
I am too. So we again thank everyone for watching your LexPD and make sure that you join us for all of our episodes on season 3.